A terrifying ancient dragon is reborn through reincarnation, but instead of a mighty beast, Xiao awakens a mysterious flaming horse that bonds to his soul right before the chaos great. Monarch Flame begins a catastrophic battle against the 3,000 lightning Monarch Flame. At the same time that the ball of light began to shatter, the flames that had been peaceful for many days suddenly soared into the sky, and a rain of fire fell from the sky. When the rain of fire touched the light, it instantly turned into tiny fire threads that were as tiny as a strand of hair. The fire threads were like maggots stuck to the light and continuously merged into it, as if they were replenishing energy for the light. The high temperature of the fiery rain caused Xiao, who was not far away, to feel a slight pain on his skin. After being tempered by the fierce aura for a few days, Xiao body had become even stronger. However, under the dense fiery rain, he still felt a burning pain. From this, it could be seen how fierce the 1,000 Leaves ancient monarch fire was. The rain of fire became bigger and bigger, and in the end it turned into a heavy rain. It carried a great amount of power and smashed into the seemingly weak light. The light trembled slightly, and then it returned to normal, absorbing all the surrounding flames. Very quickly, the fire cloud that had been accumulating for many days in the sky had been completely consumed, although the cracks on the light had increased a lot. The creature inside still did not show any signs of breaking out of its body. After absorbing all of the energy from the brown flame, the light trembled slightly, and a steady flow of scarlet flame flowed out from the surface of the flame, turning into pure fire sources that poured into the light. Xiao expression suddenly changed as he looked at the familiar scarlet-red flame. Wasn't this his chaos great monarch flame? It was actually being absorbed by that strange light. As the energy gradually saturated, the cracks on the light became bigger and bigger. When the fragments of light fell, it caused the space to become bigger and bigger. A visible ripple spread out, and the power caused Xiao to secretly click his tongue. Boom! After the last fragment fell, a loud sound that shook the heavens and split the earth suddenly erupted from within the light, after which an indescribable aura spread out. At the same time, endless flames soared into the sky and hung upside down, forming a huge fire curtain that was a few hundred meters in size. While Xiao was trembling because of this aura, a dragon's roar that resounded through the heavens and the earth suddenly sounded. Under the dragon's roar, everything seemed to be dead. The surging sea of fire stopped roaring, and the terrifying aura that swept across the world was instantly extinguished. Only the dragon's roar echoed within the barrier. At the instant the dragon's roar rang out, the enormous curtain of fire instantly broke apart. A figure leapt out from the light, riding on the power of the flames. It flew straight into the air. Xiao looked at the sky in shock. The figure was wrapped in flames. He couldn't see it clearly, but the moment it appeared, a mountain-sized ancient dragon seemed to have soared into the sky as well, dissipating along with the dragon's roar. The silhouette of the colossal dragon turned into flames that filled the sky and poured into that figure. The terrifying chi that filled the sky vanished along with it. Xiao had also recovered from his suppressed state. Just as he was about to adjust his condition, an explosion suddenly sounded in the sky. After that, a stream of fire wrapped around the figure and arrived in front of Xiao in an instant. The flame dispersed, and Xiao looked at the mysterious figure that was slowly revealing his true face. A trace of curiosity and excitement quietly climbed into his eyes. After thinking for a few days, Xiao was now more or less sure that the huge egg had undergone some unusual changes. Xiao wasn't sure about this, but now, when he saw the figure clearly, Xiao couldn't help but be startled. What appeared in front of him wasn't a ferocious and domineering fire dragon, nor a ferocious-looking primitive alien creature. It was a fire horse. Its height wasn't as high as Xiao shoulder, and its two big eyes were blinking. Its body was well-proportioned, and it emitted a scorching spiritual energy. His ponytail was surrounded by flames, and when he swung it, there was a burning sound. His 4 legs were full of muscles, and he looked extremely strong. Overall, it felt very powerful. However, when Xiao saw that pair of big round eyes, he was a little speechless. Originally it was pretty good. However, this pair of eyes had completely destroyed the power of the whole body. Awu! Awa! When the little flaming horse saw Xiaoyan, it called out in a friendly manner. Its 4 hooves stepped on the ground one after another, and streams of flame swept up. When he heard this soft cry, Xiaoyan instantly smiled bitterly and shook his head. What exactly is this thing? Just as Xiaoyan was feeling helpless, a strange sound suddenly came into his ears. It was as if the heaven and earth were about to split apart. A wave of shaking kept coming. Before Xiaoyan could react, he heard a frightened cry from the little fire horse. Then it turned into a scarlet color under Xiaoyan's shocked expression, and drilled into Xiaoyan's body like a bolt of lightning. What's going on? An endless amount of doubt surged in Xiaoyan's heart. They were like layers of waves that continuously shocked his mind. How could the little fire horse enter his body? Before Xiaoyan could recover from his shock, he heard a rumbling sound. Xiaoyan's vision suddenly turned black. When he opened his eyes again, the scene of the square slowly appeared in front of him. Did it work? While Xiaoyan was still in a daze, Yi Tianquan's familiar voice entered his ears. Without waiting for Xiaoyan to reply, Yi Tianquan looked at the black and golden characters on the former's chest and smiled. The light is circulating and it is emitting an ancient aura. It seems that it is almost perfect. Xiaoyan smiled bitterly and said, "You always don't know what kind of suffering this brat has suffered. It's hard to imagine what kind of suffering he will suffer." Yi Tianquan scolded with a smile on his face. "That's enough. The 8 powers is the secret arts that has become famous in the immemorial period. How many days of pampered children have they spent their entire lives trying to obtain it? You still think it's too difficult?" Xiaoyan chuckled. He couldn't help but gently touch the words on his chest. His heart was also filled with endless excitement. In the future, this thing could also become one of his biggest trump cards. It had become. What about that little thing? Ye Tianquan looked around Xiaoyan and suddenly asked. Hearing this, Xiaoyan was stunned for a moment and immediately understood. He asked doubtfully, "Elder Yi, what is that flaming horse? Isn't there a fire dragon in the huge egg? Also, how could it enter my body?" Yi Tianquan heard Xiaoyan's series of questions and chuckled. "So that little guy has already entered your body. Try to summon it out." Seeing Xiaoyan staring at him in a daze, Yi Tianquan smiled helplessly. Pointing at the former's body, he said in a gentle voice, "Before, I asked you to pour the Chaos Great Monarch flame into that ball of light. I had you engrave your seal on that little fellow before it had formed a physical body and also connected it to your Chaos Great Monarch flame. In the future, he would be able to freely enter and exit the Chaos Great Monarch flame. It will also be able to enter your body along with it." Yi Tianquan looked at Xiaoyan, who was a little stunned, and let out a light sigh. "I know you have a lot of questions. Actually, when you rescued the little dragon from the underground barrier, its injuries are powerful and original. After entering my illusion realm, its origin couldn't be maintained either. In order to prevent it from dying, there's only one path left for reincarnation. Reincarnation is the unique ability of the little dragon's bloodline. Abandoning all of the memories and strength in this life, turning into an egg, it can be reincarnated after being guided by 2 kinds of monarch flames." Yi Tianquan looked up at the sky, his tone extremely calm. However, Xiaoyan could hear a trace of reluctance and disappointment from it, and his heart immediately became somewhat heavy. Indeed, he had accompanied him for many years. His partner, who was connected to him through life and death, was forced to reincarnate, and he could only watch helplessly. There was no other way. That kind of pain. Xiaoyan could understand it as well. This illusion realm. My time is almost negligible. After the little dragon reincarnated, its strength was too weak, and its origin was extremely weak. It needed protection, and you also had the Chaos Great Monarch flame. Therefore, I made you the master of that little guy." When he heard this, Xiaoyan's heart began to pound violently. Without any time to think, he subconsciously, with a slight thought, the Chaos Great Monarch flame emerged from his body. The flame changed slightly, and a lively little fire horse leapt out. The little horse snorted twice. When it saw Xiaoyan, it excitedly cried out a few times. Like a whirlwind, it instantly arrived beside Xiaoyan and used its big head to intimately rub against the former's body. Sensing the colt's warm attitude towards him, Xiaoyan could not help but smile. He placed his hand on the latter's big head and gently stroked it. Immediately a flame jumped out as if it had no warmth at all, and then suddenly disappeared. Being intimately touched by Xiaoyan, the pony couldn't help but happily ride its 4 hooves. It kept snorting and shooting out flames. At the same time, it let out cheerful cries. Looking at the pony acting spoiled in Xiaoyan's arms, the corner of Yi Tianquan's mouth revealed a trace of a smile. Little dragon, although you lost all your memories and powerful strength from your past life, you survived in another way. Fortunately, you didn't have to die with me soon. You must live well. After playing with the fire stallion for a while, Xiaoyan suddenly raised his head and said with sincerity in his eyes, "Thank you, Elder Yi. I will not let down your reputation. I will definitely make it famous throughout the world." Xiaoyan patted the pony's head as he spoke. Yi Tianquan was slightly stunned when he heard that. He laughed lightly and nodded. "Good. Haha, I did not expect to hear such bold words before I died." As he spoke, a warm feeling unconsciously surged into Yi Tianquan's heart, spreading out waves of warmth. Since the little dragon has already recognized you as its master, then you can name it. After all, the little dragon's name doesn't match its current image. Yi Tianquan then looked at the little red pony, his eyes filled with satisfaction. Speaking of the name, Xiaoyan suddenly felt his head hurt. In an instant, many names that he thought were domineering flashed across his mind, and his eyes became clear. Xiaoyan's mouth twitched. He glanced at the flame on the horse's body and suddenly had an idea. He said without hesitation, "The fire spirit of the Chaos Great Monarch Flame is called the Xiao Yi. You just follow the order. Call it the Xiao Ao." Huh? Yi Tianquan could not help but laugh. "What logic is this? Don't tell me there's someone called Mo." Xiaoyan laughed when he heard that. "Kid, I hope so." Yi Tianquan shook his head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry, but he could not help but sigh in his heart. Given this little guy's character, how could he call him such a friendly name? Only those extremely powerful spiritual objects could be addressed in such a way. When he thought of this, Yi Tianquan could not help but look at the vigorous words on Xiaoyan's chest. A crazy thought suddenly flashed through his mind. If this little guy can cultivate the legendary power spirit... Thinking of this, even Yi Tianquan couldn't help but be shocked by his own idea. Power spirit couldn't be tolerated in this world. There were only a few times since the ancient times that the power spirit was born. It caused the heaven and earth to shake. Under the countless killing and divine punishment, it seemed to have turned into ashes. Although it could increase one's strength, it could make the heaven and earth furious. As if it understood Xiaoyan's words, the little horse cheerfully called out a few times. It quickly circled around Xiaoyan, and the sound of flames piercing through the air could be heard without an end. Yi Tianquan recovered from his deep thoughts and looked at Xiaoyan, who was about to speak. Suddenly his gaze swept across the flames surrounding the Xiao Ao and stared at it for a while. Yi Tianquan suddenly said anxiously, "Little guy, the Chaos Great Monarch Flame might explode during this period of time. You will definitely be affected when you devour the 3,000 lightning monarch flames. Make the best use of this period of time to advance to the 5th path of the sovereign realm. Perhaps your success rate will be higher." Next to a waterfall, Xiaoyan slowly opened his eyes, accompanied by the incessant sound of water flowing. A origin monarch chi that he could not refine in time flashed across his eyes like a real object. Taking a light breath, Xiaoyan thought for a moment. With a wave of his hand, the Chaos Great Monarch Flame appeared in his palm. The flame swayed, and under the intense heat, the water flow of the waterfall beside him decreased significantly, and a large amount of water vapor evaporated. At this moment, the vicinity of the Chaos Great Monarch Flame's fire source was no longer a single scarlet-red color. An illustrious golden color had quietly appeared, occupying half of the fire source. Upon closer inspection, there were actually traces of lightning swimming within the golden flame. After staring at it for a long time, Xiao Yan gently played with the Chaos Great Monarch flame. His thoughts were no longer in a hurry. Currently, the burning spell was the lowest Emperor rank. According to the characteristics of the Fighting Qi continent, every time he swallowed a heavenly flame, he would be able to evolve. At that time, if the Chaos Great Monarch flame could successfully devour the 3,000 Lightning Monarch flame, he didn't know if the burning spell could still evolve. After watching for a while, Xiao Yan put away the Chaos Great Monarch flame. He said to himself, I should advance to the fifth path as soon as possible. When the time comes, I'll take it one step at a time. After saying that, Xiao Yan looked at the Xiao Ao lying lazily on the grass not far away, sunbathing. He could not help but curl his lips. This guy had just reincarnated and already possessed the strength of a 7-Dao sovereign master. Although it wasn't as strong as his original strength, it had already aroused some jealousy in Xiao Yan's heart. He had fought with all his might, but there were only 4 of them. This guy was obviously bullying him. He retracted his gaze from Xiao Ao. However, there was a trace of excitement in Xiao Yan's heart. The stronger the Xiao Ao was, the stronger he could unleash his full strength. From this aspect, Xiao Yan couldn't help but sigh when this fellow would be able to reach his original strength. At that time, any branch of origin would have the strength to easily kill a monarch emperor-level heavenly beast. He shook his head. Xiao Yan shifted his gaze to his body. Within the origin monarch crystal, an origin chains that was as thick as a thumb was emitting a gurgling sound as the origin monarch qi surged in. It was as if it was responding to the origin chains. The 4 even thicker Xiao Yans that had penetrated through Xiao Yan's meridians began to vibrate gently, stirring the origin monarch qis that had yet to be refined within his body. As Xiao Yan's strength gradually increased, the origin monarch qi needed to advance also increased by several times. He used up all the remaining fire spirit blood, but only managed to outline the embryonic form of the 5th origin chains. At this rate, Xiao Yan's scalp would go numb at the thought of how much Xiao Yans he would need to advance in the future. After slightly adjusting his condition, Xiao Yan once again formed a hand seal. Very quickly, he remained motionless like an old monk. The origin monarch qis around him also seemed to have received a powerful suction force. They all surged into the former's body and the Xiao Yans that poured into Xiao Yan's chest. When they came into contact with the vigorous black and gold character, it suddenly disappeared without a trace. As a large number of origin monarch qis entered his body, the black-gold color on the word force became denser and denser. The flowing light also flickered slightly. Waves of pure origin. Monarch qis flowed along the meridians of the burning spell and entered the origin monarch crystal. After being refined by the origin monarch crystal, the origin chains were injected into the origin monarch crystal, causing it to slightly increase in size. The origin monarch qi was like a skilled craftsman tirelessly forging the origin chains. With the infusion of a large amount of origin chains, the origin chains gradually condensed. It began to extend towards all the meridians in Xiao Yan's body. 7 days passed in a flash. Xiao Yan's aura also gradually became stronger as time passed. He was like a dormant lion slowly awakening. During these 7 days, Xiao Yan had been paying attention to the movement of the origin chains in his body. He carefully guided it through all the meridians in his body, even though Xiao Yan's soul strength was a little stronger than before. Completing such a difficult task still required a lot of effort. After this, origin chains finally penetrated all the meridians in his body. The 5 Xiao Yans finally coexisted within Xiao Yan's body, after which they resonated together and emitted an ear-splitting sound. It was like rolling thunder that continuously reverberated within his body. The moment the 5th origin chains passed through his body, the calm origin monarch qi around Xiao Yan's body instantly went berserk. Like a wild horse that had escaped from its grasp, it crazily surged into Xiao Yan's body. At the same time, an indescribable feeling of pleasure came from every part of his body. 5 sovereign warriors. Feeling the sudden increase in his qi, Xiao Yan's pale face turned slightly red. The 5 chains made loud noises in his body as they absorbed the origin monarch chi into his body, strengthening himself. The 5 origin chains in his body contained a vast amount of origin monarch chis. They kept nourishing Xiaoyan's bones and meridians, strengthening his body. At the same time, the vigorous words on Xiaoyan's chest trembled slightly, and an even more ancient aura slowly leaked out. While Xiaoyan was enjoying the pleasure of advancing, a layer of faint yellow flame mixed with traces of lightning quietly appeared on Xiaoyan's skin. Aua! Suddenly, the Xiao Ao, who was not far away, let out an irritated cry. It was no longer as relaxed as before. The flame on its body was blazing, and it was jumping around in anger. When it looked at the yellow flame on Xiaoyan's body, it was full of fear. As if it couldn't bear this kind of pressure, the Xiao Ao's body trembled. It turned into a red flame and entered Xiaoyan's body, then into the Chaos Great Monarch Flame. Rumble. Suddenly a loud sound was heard, causing the Xiao Ao, who had just entered the flame source of the Chaos Great Monarch Flame, to stagger. Its eyes, which were filled with a lively aura, were now looking at the sky above the barrier in horror. Suddenly a stunned expression appeared on the face of the Xiao Ao's horse. Xiaoyan's state of mind was also interrupted by the sudden clap of thunder. When he opened his eyes, Xiaoyan immediately noticed a layer of golden flame that was lingering on his skin. His expression changed slightly, as if he had thought of something, and his mind was instantly immersed in the fire source of the Chaos Great Monarch Flame. When Xiaoyan looked at the sky above this space, shock swiftly surged onto the former's face. The sky, which was originally filled with fiery clouds and flames. At this moment, the sky was filled with black thunderclouds. One after another, shocking golden lightning would roar from time to time. Within the clouds, a 10,000 feet long golden lightning dragon was rolling. The body of the lightning dragon was also wrapped in a layer of golden flames. It burned away all the black clouds around it. As the lightning dragon rolled, a wisp of golden flame fell from time to time. In an instant, it turned into a bolt of golden lightning that was dozens of feet thick and landed on the peak of a volcano in the distance. It blasted it into nothingness. Looking at the shocking scene in front of him, Xiaoyan's face turned pale all of a sudden. He mumbled, 3,000 lightning monarch flames have begun to devour. Ah! Suddenly the golden lightning dragon in the clouds roared furiously towards the sky. Its roar caused the countless volcanoes below to collapse and lava to flow backwards. At the same time, a dense rain of lightning and fire descended, burning the lava into ashes. After suffering such a heavy blow, the barrier that Xiaoyan was standing on trembled violently. A ball of flame rushed over from afar, like a meteor transforming into a Xiaoyi in front of Xiaoyan. At this moment, the Xiaoyi's eyes were solemn as it looked at the golden lightning dragon that was showing off its might in the sky. A trace of determination flashed across its small face. With a soft chirp, it transformed into a scarlet jade-green fire lotus and silently slashed towards the lightning dragon. The fire lotus instantly arrived beside the lightning dragon. In the next moment, a bright light suddenly erupted. Endless scarlet flames surged out from the fire lotus, forming a 10,000 feet large sea of fire that covered the sky and the earth. It roared as it pounced towards the lightning dragon. The golden thunder lightning dragon twisted its body. The golden flame, mixed with numerous lightning bolts, swept towards the sea of fire like a violent storm. The two flames carried a huge impact force as they violently collided under Xiaoyan's stunned gaze. Bang! The two flames were at a stalemate for a moment. In the next moment, a thunderous explosion came from the center of the collision. It swept up thousands of meters of air currents and annihilated the dark clouds. Below, several volcanoes collapsed. In the sky, wind and lightning rolled. The golden lightning dragon and fire lotus were both sent flying hundreds of meters away, each suffering some minor injuries. Along with the explosion, a huge energy impact shook Xiaoyan's mind. He was forced to retreat from the fire source of the Chaos Great Monarch Flame. When he opened his eyes, Yi Tianchen had already appeared in front of him. It has begun. Xiaoyan smiled bitterly and nodded. These two fellows had treated the Chaos Great Monarch Flame's fire source barrier as a battlefield. Given the ferocity of the battle, it was likely that his soul force would not be of much help. All he could do was watch. However, from the collision just now, the Xiao Yi's strength was clearly inferior to the Golden Lightning Dragon. The gap between the Chaos Great Monarch Flame and the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames is not small. Even using the Monarch Flame's secret skill is far from enough. Fortunately, you have already advanced to 5D Shi, the Origin Monarch. Qi in your body should be sufficient to squander the Chaos Great Monarch Flame. Yi Tianqian thought for a while and slowly opened his mouth. The rest is the battle between the two Monarch Flames. What you need to do is provide the Chaos Great Monarch Flame with an endless supply of Origin Monarch Qis. Only by doing so will you be able to exhaust 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames to death. If the Chaos Great Monarch Flames devour the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames, then its overall strength will increase exponentially. On the other hand, even if the 3,000 Lightning Monarch Flames are in your body, you won't be able to control them with ease. After a moment of silence, Yi Tianqian stared at Xiaoyan and said, nodding his head lightly, Xiaoyan slowly closed his eyes. A surge of soul force gushed out from between his brows and entered the fire source of the Chaos Great Monarch Flame in a strange way. He quietly watched this soul-stirring tremble. At the same time, under the control of his mind, the 5 origin chains that ran through his meridians began to vibrate slightly. Waves of pure origin, Monarch Kiss separated from the Origin Monarch Kiss. They flowed along the meridians into the fire source of the fire lotuses, entering the deep blue fire lotuses in the sky. After being nourished by the Origin Monarch Qi, the fire lotus, which had suffered some injuries, began to emit a gentle flame. The flame grew once again. After that, the fire lotus trembled and pierced through the space like a meteor chasing after the moon. It shot towards the distant lightning dragon. A trace of fanaticism flashed across the lightning dragon's eyes. A dragon's roar shook the sky. Its body twisted and once again entangled with the fire lotus. A great battle erupted once again. In an instant, the fiery clouds in the sky rolled, thunderclouds surged. The sea of fire roared furiously, and the thunder was furious. The lightning that filled the sky was like numerous golden snakes that kept swimming around, carrying a destructive force as they struck towards the boundless sea of fire. Within the sea of fire, the seemingly tangible flames were dancing crazily, burning the lightning that struck into nothingness in an instant. After the lightning was extinguished, the sea of fire once again exploded. Hong Long. The lightning dragon's body was thousands of meters tall, and there were golden flames coiled around it. The fire soared to the sky, burning and merging the crimson flames around it. The golden dragon's scales that looked like molten iron were glowing with a cold light under the illumination of the flames, and the dragon's scales were covered with golden lightning. As the lightning danced, the void seemed to crack open. Roar! The lightning dragon roared once more. The lightning that filled the sky instantly gathered towards the penetrating jade fire lotus. Bolts of golden lightning that were as thick as buckets contained a power that could destroy the heavens and extinguish the earth. It furiously attacked the fire lotus. Seeing this scene, even Xiaoyan felt his scalp go numb. This scene was several times more dangerous than the lightning pool in the void. The battle between the two monarch flames was indeed not an ordinary brutal one. As he was thinking, Xiaoyan increased the speed at which he absorbed the Origin Monarch Qis. A large amount of Origin Monarch Qis rushed into the fire lotus as if they were free, causing the fire lotus to grow rapidly. Waves of flames that contained death spread out quietly, and everywhere the flames went, all the lightning turned into ashes. In just a short moment, Xiaoyan had already consumed the Origin Monarch Qi of the 3 origin chains. Fortunately, the effect he obtained was not bad. On top of the fire lotus, a 10,000 feet large crimson fire curtain was slowly forming. Any lightning that came into contact with the fire curtain would mysteriously disappear in the next moment. When the lightning dragon saw this, a trace of coldness flashed across its dragon eyes. which were filled with lightning. Immediately his dragon body trembled slightly, and waves of pure golden lightning quietly spread out from his body. In an instant it disappeared into the clouds above. As the golden lightning swam, ripples appeared in the space around the barrier and spread out like ripples of death, after which it disappeared.